Monster RX93.1 presents Heard on Thursdays. Hot conversations on hot topics. Your host, JC Teves.
Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen, monsters all over the world? How are you? I hope you're all fine this wet and windy week. Let's hope that we have a lot of fun and sun this weekend. But as our guest tonight will tell you, don't forget your sunblock. Okay, welcome to more hot conversations here on Heard on Thursdays, the show that made Philippine FM radio talk. I'm your host, JC Teves. What's up? Welcome. What is the one thing we all do when we're stuck in one place for a long time, which is our universal experience right now? I would say, right? Wouldn't you agree? We take selfies, we make TikTok videos. Well, some more than others, some more popular than others. I tried once. Oh, didn't go well. Our mugs are on our social feeds for more posts than ever, and we want ourselves to look good, don't we? Don't we want to look the best? Filters can help. I mean, filters can really help, yes, but they can only go so far. What we want is the real deal. We want good, clear, glowing skin that's appealing and full of charm, beauty, and vitality. Tonight's guest may be able to help you in that regard. Yes, he's not a skin doctor, nor is he an academic expert, but he's a trustworthy resource person in his own right. Skincare has been his avocation for years. Yes, he's been researching on and experimenting with products available in the market, and he shares his knowledge and experience in very accessible videos on YouTube and TikTok that have gained a wide following. So, ladies and gentlemen, Heard on Thursdays, popular skincare YouTuber Jan Angelo joining us tonight. Jan, what's going on? How are you?
Hello, JC. I'm great. Thank you for having me tonight.
Thank you so much. I mentioned right before the interview, thank you for staying up late at night. I'm sure we'll discuss this all down the line. Sleep, how important is it for your skin? And for those of you who are just listening on air, you have to go on Facebook. You have to check out Jan's skin in the flesh, facebook.com/RX931. Jan, first of all, you look incredible. Before we get into your skin, before we get into your skincare and what you've been talking about on TikTok and on YouTube, we gonna ask you, get to know you a little bit better. First of all, what have you been doing besides TikTok and YouTube? Or does that really take up all of your time? Have you been watching anything on Netflix or Disney Plus or YouTube? Maybe you watch fellow YouTubers as well. What's been keeping you busy entertainment wise?
Well, definitely that. Yeah, watching other YouTubers too. But I think something unique that I did over, the whole time that we're, locked in our houses, aside from, losing my mind, which I think everyone had a face in like I think something interesting that I did was I tried to learn a new language, which is actually Bahasa Indonesia.
Ah, about Indonesia.
Yeah, because it's actually pretty easy if you're Filipino. There's a lot of close words. So I think that's something
Cool.
interesting that I did. Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel like because maybe the similarities in the I don't know, like I'm not a linguist or anything, but
Yeah.
I've heard people from Malaysia talk, and they do have a similarity in a sense. How long have you
Yeah.
been? How long do you plan to continue that? Do you want to expand to the Malaysian market, for example, with your content?
That would be cool, right?
Right?
But I think I'm doing it now a bit just for fun, but I've actually been getting into like Indonesian and Malaysian skincare too. So I think that'll help a little bit. But yeah,
Uh-huh.
now it's just for fun.
Okay, as we see the comments section flooding in as well, just a reminder to all our monsters, if you want to ask Jen a question about skincare on the show tonight at RX931 on Facebook, YouTube, as well as on Twitch. So, Jen, let's get to know you for people who are just seeing your, I assure you get this a lot, your beautiful face. You're seeing your beautiful face tonight here on live. A little origin story behind you as a skincare content creator. Let's talk about that. When did you start? How long have you been doing it? And why did you start?
Okay, so just to point out, I think the journey to becoming a skincare enthusiast is kind of different from becoming a skincare YouTuber. Basically, being a skincare enthusiast, that started around like 2013, 2014, when I got really bad acne and I realized, there's so much products. When you shop for skincare, there's so much products out in the market and you like don't know where to start sometimes. And so I tried to like, take matters into my own hands. At that time, that was what I thought taking matters into my own hands were was.
Uh-huh.
Finding which skincare like objectively can really help me. And so that got me to become a skincare enthusiast. Um, Becoming a skincare YouTuber, it's something that happened over, the lockdown. But it stems from an advocacy to really make skincare information more accessible, not only in terms of, oh yeah, sorry, not only in terms of information but also in terms of products, because a lot of the products we know, skincare products we know, tend to be expensive. But I like to keep options open, like some local options that tend to be a bit more uh budget friendly. So yeah, basically just making skincare more accessible, and also quality information from actual dermatologists, actual cosmetic chemists, and actual experts.
Yeah, would you say that there is a before when you started getting into it, before you decided to put out content that was like you said, informative and educational in a sense, did you think that
Mhm.
it's lacking, or is it still lacking right now? Do you think there's still a lack or a lot of misinformation about skincare being dispersed by the media or other people? In your opinion, what is the state of skincare knowledge right now here, especially here locally in the Philippines?
I think there's still, I guess, a nice way to say it is there's still a bit more work to do, because there's really, I guess it's also an accessibility issue when it comes to information. I guess also people don't really know where to look at for information, so it's not really their fault. But at the same time, yes, I think there's a lot of misinformation to really debunk, so to speak.
Right, right. And now that we're on that topic, when it comes
Mm.
to when when it came to your learning about skincare, what was it, a trial and error thing? I don't know how, putting a lot, because I don't do that much skincare, which admittedly I should be doing more skincare.
That's
But
fine.
um when I look on YouTube, for example, my first thing
Yeah.
is, if I was going to get into skincare, YouTube is probably the place to go, because it's a very visual platform, and there's
Mhm.
always YouTubers or content creators with thousands, even millions of followers who can give advice. But when it comes to advice, is it mostly subjective, or do you really look into the science behind things before you try on a product? Do you always try the product on yourself first, or do you just kind of see what the results have been through, from studies, and then just give that information out to the world? How does your content flow work? So if you were gonna make a video and you said, let's talk about moisturizer. I'm only throwing out words that I know. So moisturizer, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about moisturizers today. So if you were going to do a video about moisturizers, what would be your train of thought? Are you looking at the most popular brands and then comparing them based on results from other people, or are you going to get those, try them on yourself, and see what works best for you? How does it work for you, at
Well,
least?
Um, the thing about skincare that an important thing that I've learned, I think, throughout the years is, as much as skincare is really a subjective thing, sorry, as much as skincare is really an objective thing, like you can really base it on science, there are really ingredients that can help you achieve a certain goal for your skin. Um, Even dermatologists themselves, who are experts, have also said that skincare is also a subjective thing. So it's
Mm.
really a balance. And so my train of thought when it comes to making a video, it's always, of course, first we look for ingredients. We look for skincare that has ingredients that are um going to be helpful. It's not full of I this is just like a nickname for me. I'm not sure if it's really the name for it, like filler ingredients, like
Mm.
unnecessary ingredients. So there's that. Um in a subjective manner, you can also make it like, because other people have more budget for skincare, but other people don't really have that much budget for skincare, whether it's their choice or not. So we have to factor that in. You can get objective when it comes to the price, but subjective when it comes to the people who are willing to spend however much price they want to spend on it. And also, I think skin type is very important. That's something I think about as well. So when you think skin type, it's very subjective because it depends on someone's lifestyle. But
Mhm.
where you get objective is like, let's say, okay, if someone has oily skin, then we'll look for ingredients that are more suited for oily skin. So it's really, every video is really a balance of being objective and being subjective at the same time. And I think
Nice.
that's a big challenge when it comes to skincare. I think it's my biggest
I'm
challenge,
sure
I think.
exactly, especially the objective part, because subjectivity in anything is usually, if it's somebody's opinion, you can't really get mad at it, or you can't really get
Yeah.
called out for your opinion, unless it says, unless your opinion tramples on like human rights or anything. But in the general sense, right,
I
if we're
agree.
talking about skincare, right,
Yes.
I think this moisturizer is the best. You can't tell me that your thing is wrong. But if it comes to
Mhm.
the science behind it, like you said, there is an objective aspect to skincare. How that must be a fine line to toe, especially someone, let's say, who, like, you didn't go to school for this per se, in the the educational sense, like the degree sense, but you've been doing this,
Yeah.
studying this on your own. Have you had any issues with that, with maybe people asking you, telling you, hey Jen, you said this but it didn't work? How do you deal with that kind of feedback or backlash, in a sense?
That comes up that like a lot of people who comment on my videos, they bring up this topic a lot, saying this product worked for them, this product did not work for them. And I think that's also what proves the subjectivity of skincare and how different, and in the objective sense, how different everyone's skin really is. Because I can only, like, I do tell my audience I can only do so much when it comes to products, but at the end of the day, it's really up to the user's prerogative, how much they really know their skin. I can only be like, I always tell them, actually, to take my advice with a grain of salt. Like, if they feel like it's really not going to work for them, even if I rave about the product, even if I give so much positive reviews about the product, then I always suggest follow what they think will work, and just weigh out. What matters to me is really that they get an informed opinion, and an opinion that is fair, especially in a world full of grabe yung in a world, but I mean, like,
In a
like,
world.
I know, right? Like, in a time where there's so much misinformation, right? So all I want to do is just for them to make informed choice. So yeah.
Right. Are you in partnership with any dermatologist? Do you have like a contact that you consult with before maybe presenting information that you might not be 100% sure on? Or do you even plan on maybe pursuing higher education when it comes to skin down the line? Is that something that you have considered as well, out of curiosity?
Um, when it comes to higher education, I get this question from like my relatives and my friends a lot who've seen my YouTube channel. They're like, "Why don't you become a dermatologist?" Ganon. Pero honestly, my answer is really like, I love skincare, but I also know, because I have a lot of friends also who are in the medical field, and
Yes.
it's definitely more than that. And I don't think I'm willing to go through all that, because at the end of the day, like, a dermatologist really treats skin diseases at even like
Mm,
uh there's also like only up to a point that the dermatologist can know about skincare, because dermatologists are busy, treating people's skin to be updated on trends on skincare. And so
right.
I guess that's what I realized, like, that's my place in like the skincare or beauty community, really, to
Mhm.
give input on the products, give input on the trends, and balance the information out. And when it comes to like working uh alongside or consulting dermatologists, definitely now, I guess, being blessed with a platform, um, I've been in contact with more dermatologists, getting to know more information. But starting out my channel, I always tell this to my viewers as well. I have the same resources that they do. I just show it to them that, hey, this resource is available. You can act. There are a lot of dermatologists even on YouTube that they can get an opinion from, and
Right.
I'm just showing that to them. I don't tell them that parang I have better resources, I have the best resources. I tell them that they can access this too. Like, I'm just showing it to them, so to speak. So.
Mm, okay, great. And, we have a lot of viewers on Facebook as well. But once again, a
Oh,
reminder to
nice.
everyone listening on air, facebook.com/RX931, also on YouTube and on Twitch. And, everyone must ask you about your skin, Jen. And not just because of your content. I mean, even if I didn't watch any of your YouTube videos, if I didn't see you on TikTok, if I met you in a person, I would be like, damn, your skin is fantastic. But was your skin always like that? Did How long was it to, if it was a process? How long did it take to get to, your level of skin? I don't even know what the word to use. Your skin. level, skin whatever, skin achievement.
Um, Skin achievement. I like that.
Mm,
Um, Definitely like I'm going to be very transparent. Probably like my skin is definitely not perfect, and my viewers know this because I take close-ups of my skin. Probably my skin looks what other people think as good like here right now because the lighting's pretty nice, etc.,
Okay, all
etc.
right.
But um I'm very open to being a sufferer of acne.
Okay.
I do get acne from time to time, and it's something I've actually been suffering since um I was a teenager. But
Mm,
only was able to really get to like to consult a dermatologist over it when like during adulthood, maybe like towards the end of college. And only more consistent now. So yeah, I'm very open about that. I'm also very skin positive, is that if that's a word, to my viewers, na if they have textured skin, different they have acne, it's normal, it's human, it really happens. It's not, some people think acne is because someone has bad decisions, and
mm,
that's only like a really small slice of a pie. I think for the most part, acne is really like a skin condition that someone needs to get, for the most part, if they want um to get medical intervention, like if they want it to get treated, they need meds for it. I'm very, that's like my goal when it comes to YouTube. When a viewer finally tells me na parang, oh hey, I went to a dermatologist, I finally went to a dermatologist because of your videos, that's like the goal that I want to them
right.
to get to. And so yeah.
So, now that you mentioned your YouTube, let's talk about your YouTube channel. We have a couple questions from here. First of all, the content that you put out. We have a a commenter here. Magtagalog po tayo. Hindi ba daw
I
sila
sorry,
ready?
okay,
Hindi na.
okay.
No, I'm just asking. Is your content mainly for Filipino audience? Is it in Filipino, or do you do everything in English and just have have a more broad audience reach your videos?
I'd say it's about like 75 to 85% Filipino, because I like to, there's something about the Filipino language na parang it makes it so relatable. Maybe it's because we're
I love it.
Filipinos at its core, right? Like, but
Mhm.
like speaking in Filipino, like there's this connection to your viewer. Even me, like when I'm talking to my viewers, I feel more of a connection when I speak to them in Filipino. Siguro I speak in English for more precision and accuracy, but then Filipino is really like the way usually
The
in
way to go, right?
videos.
Do you still remember the first video, yung unang video mo? The first one that you ever put out? What do you remember what it was?
Yeah. It was about yung best products that you can buy in Watsons.
Oh, okay.
Thinking of doing a part two of that actually. So
Nice.
yeah.
Well, a little teaser for all the fans out there. Do you have a just so that we can refer to them? Do you have a fan club name? I'm sure you must have some sort of fan club's name like Jannat, the typical Jannatics, Jan
Genetics.
Jan Jan dermatologist or something. I don't know. Do you have a fan club name of sorts so we can refer to them?
This is an unofficial name because
Okay.
I have been scared because of, you'll find out why,
Right,
because
right, okay.
there is a skincare group that a lot of my passionate viewers made
Mm,
on Facebook, and the name was Alagad ni Ongyel. Ongyel is my username. Alagad
okay.
ni Ongyel skincare posting. So the unofficial like name is like Alagads. But then
Legads. Okay.
I feel so uncomfortable because hindi ko naman sila alagad. Like I just like,
Okay. I like
I'm
it.
not your master, but I'm just giving you informative information, you
Right.
know. Pero yeah,
I mean,
that's the unofficial
it's,
name,
it's
Alagads.
nice. Alagads, you know? I mean,
Really?
it's catchier than like disciples, right? Or something like that. Something mga alagads. You mentioned that your first video was top products that you could get at Watson's. So as your channel grew, as even as your social media in general grew, especially when you incorporated TikTok, which we'll talk about right after this.
Mm.
There must have been some interest in terms of mga partnerships,
Mm.
endorsements, and whatnot. But for me, anything that has an endorsement, there's always a disclaimer of sorts, right? Whenever, even if it's a tech channel, they usually give
Yes.
their disclaimer, like just FYI,
Mm-hmm.
we sent this, this company X and X company sent this to me for review. Do you do a similar thing? Are you very transparent that, hey, this video was sponsored by blank? And if so, does that ever affect yung mga comments mo, the subjectivity or opinions on the product at all?
When it comes to sponsored content, at its I just want to put it out there too that I'm also very transparent to this about my viewers. I tell them that content creation is really um I think about it as like a well-oiled machine, so sort of. Because um I tell them that if they want me to spend more time, more energy, more resources into the content, then at one point I'll have to take sponsorships. So I'll have the resources because it's also not, I guess it's also not cheap to like buy
No,
skincare
it's
and test
not.
them, right?
I don't
For
think so. Not at all.
right, for like camera equipment, just the resources to make better videos in general,
Yeah.
I think is very costly. And I tell them that I take these sponsorships so I'm able to do that. But the thing about sponsorships is I'm also very transparent to them. Like I do tell them, I do say it all the time in the video. If a video is sponsored,
Mhm.
if only a small portion of the video is sponsored, I am very clear with that to them, and they seem to be okay with it. Some people, of course, there will be some people who don't understand. They'll want unapologetically unsponsored content, but
Mm.
um, for me, I just my laser focus is really on the community that
Yeah.
is here. Na parang um uh giving them being able to create more content for them. And also I think it's also worth saying that um I think I've learned it's okay to have sponsored content in someone's social media platform as long as they use it responsibly, because there are people that, especially when it comes to informing people, giving out informative content, I always make it a point to like say like at the end of the day, like you still have choices. This is not the only choice, because there are some sponsored content that are, they tell you that this is the only option, this is the only way. And
Mhm.
so I don't want to make it like that, because it comes off as a bit irresponsible and it ignores that, skincare should be accessible. So yeah.
Right, right. Okay. And I really like how you look at your audience as a community. You kind of foster like a little, whether alagad or not, right? Whatever you want
I know,
to.
right?
And
Alagad.
because I mean, it's evident just from the comment section alone. It feels like they all know one. I don't know if they all know one another, but if you scroll through the comment section on Facebook as the live is going through, you can see a lot of people are just. It's like they're very comfortable with praising you as Saint Jan, not Saint I. Stuff. Little inside jokes. I would assume is like it's a very comfortable community that you fostered already. What would you say about your YouTube channel? Do you think makes your community to you very special? And I guess this is an opportunity. We'll give you a chance at the end as well, but a chance for you to kind of hype up your community, give them the props that they deserve for supporting you
uh,
this whole time.
yeah. Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, your community seems to be very very supportive of you. So since you're the one who's been putting out the content, you see their reaction to it, and maybe you've
Mhm.
seen their comments to you and to each other. What would you say is special about your community in particular? Yung mga
Oh yeah.
alagad ni Jan, ni Saint Jan.
I think what's very unique about the Alagad community is a lot of them really know how to take information and uh, tell it, like share it to others. Because I think how misinformation spreads is someone gets the wrong idea. Even like if someone posts something that's factual, someone understands it the wrong way,
Uh-huh.
misunderstands it, and that can still be a source of misinformation. But I think what's special
Yeah.
about the Alagad ni Ongyel skincare posting is
Yeah,
they're
own it.
very right. They're very responsible when it comes to information, and I really really like that. And they also respect um because when it comes to skincare, there are some things that are, becoming more and more prevalent. Uh like more and more people are starting to not like fragrance in their skincare to avoid allergies, which is a good precaution to take. But there's
Mhm.
also it in the states or in other countries, it's gotten to a point that they shame them, like, why do you use fragrance in skincare? You're not a legit skincare enthusiast, etc., etc. But what I like about this community is, they respect other people's choices when it comes to skincare. They might make jokes about how a certain brand isn't as nice. They just rather use it as a foot scrub.
Okay.
um, but at the end of the day, it's really that respect that they foster and the responsibility of information that they uh, foster in the
Right.
community.
Okay, that's good, and I'm sure they're very grateful for those words. A lot, you have a lot of fans. Like it is, it's obvious that there are people who support you in all your endeavors. Uh, let's talk about products in general. Do you usually check out? I mean, when it comes to products, there are certain times throughout maybe the year that maybe not so much during pandemic, right? But before pandemic, there's always some sort of buzz around a new product, a new hype, hype around a certain product. Do you always check those out? And what are the for you maybe the products that you have really stood out to you in the past? Not you don't have to name drop,
Mhm.
any brand in particular, but what are your thoughts on products that become really big on social media? Why do you think certain products become really big and create buzz?
I think one of the products, I think that's like it's like the main example of something that's
Uh-huh.
really exploded in the Philippine skincare
Please.
scene. It's something that you call rejuvenating sets. I'm not sure. Have you heard of that, JC? Have you ever heard of
You know
rejuvenating
what?
sets?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like I never heard of that, but I kind of get the idea. Maybe if it was a specific product name, it would make sense. But rejuvenating just from
Mm.
the context, making renewing your skin's life. I could imagine what it would be like. But to be frank, I have never heard of it. But
Oh,
I'm sure a lot of your community has. So.
yeah. I bet they're probably like raging right now.
I know, like JC, what do you don't know rejuvenating, JC? Sorry,
No, no, no,
sorry.
not to you, not to you.
Oh, I thought to
They're
me, I was like, I'm sorry. Is that like a mortal sin of skincare? I
no,
don't
no,
know
no.
what rejuvenating is.
No, 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 don't worry. Like a lot of people, there are people who don't know Rejuve sets too, but
Okay.
they're not. When I say they're raging, not at you, but they're raging at Rejuve sets because
Oh,
it's sort
okay.
of like become this villain in skincare, but
Really?
um, because there are a lot of rejuvenating sets that aren't regulated, that are harmful for the skin, and so they've gotten this. Even the word rejuvenating set is not it's not a regulated word. So technically, any skincare brand can call their skincare rejuvenating set, and it can be so different from what rejuvenating sets are. But basically, it's like a four-piece set. They give you usually a soap that's like color orange because like kojic or papaya or something like that. They give you a really
Yeah, yeah.
small uh they give you a small toner. They give you a small day cream with SPF, and that's really dangerous because it's just so small. You're not able to put like the right amount of SPF, and then a
Right.
night cream. Some rejuvenating sets are okay. They're not bad. Some are better more than others, but again, it's an unregulated industry, so we can't pile it all in one. But there are the rejuvenating sets that have made the news are the ones with um uh drugs that aren't supposed to be in there, trace metals. Those things make it really dangerous. And I think that's one thing that really took the Philippine skincare community like by storm. Like people were, because this the side effect of those rejuve sets of some of them is like your skin peels and things happen, and some people think, oh, that's how it's working, but not really.
Right.
Like it's really just irritating your skin. So there's that on the villain side of things, the rejuve sets. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, I personally seen like Filipino skincare brands that are really amazing, as in international quality sila. And I really believe that the Philippines has a lot of potential to like be able to expand their skincare market into really quality products. Like I think
Right.
it takes time to be able to do that.
Yeah, you mentioned certain words that just from the context alone seem like really bad. Trace metals, metal on the skin. I don't know if that's a good mix, right? But you also earlier in the interview, you said that there are certain things when you look for in products, the ingredients, look for fillers that don't belong there. Just off of the top of your head, and I don't expect you to list them all, but what are the ones for for general rule of thumb? If I go into a drugstore to buy skincare products, what should I be looking out for to avoid?
Um, Things to look out for to avoid, if someone probably has sensitive skin, you might want to go with fragrance-free skincare. Fragrance can really hide itself really well in skincare. It can be
Mhm.
listed as fragrance, but it could be listed as an essential oil. When you think essential oil, I basically just like my code word for it is just titas of Manila, because when you think essential oils, you think, what does a tita put in her diffuser, right? Like the lavender, the tea tree, those things. If
Okay.
Tita puts it in her diffuser, then it's probably a bit risky for the skin. But for some people can tolerate it. Some people not so much. But if you want to err on the more safe side, then
Uh-huh.
fragrance, the essential oils, that's something. It's something that's more of like a choice. Other things, actually it highly depends. There are a lot of ingredients that are used wrongly, like for example, like alcohol can be used in a good way or can be used in a bad way. Like a bad way is those toners that are like the second ingredient
Uh-huh.
on the list is like alcohol. And fun fact, when you look at the ingredients list, it's like it's actually listed from the most to the least. So if like water is the first ingredient, that means it has the most water. So let's say
Right.
skincare ingredients with alcohol in their first or second or third, might be a bit irritating if someone's skin is, a bit dry or sensitive.
Right.
Um, yeah. What other citrus extracts like citrus oils?
Uh-huh.
That's something I tend to avoid as well. Um, yeah. I think I'm
You just
having a
blew
bit
my
of a
mind.
mental block.
Yeah, you blew my mind
Sorry.
because I did not know. I'm being honest. I did not know that the ingredients were listed by how much they made up the total. I thought it was alphabetical. Or I mean, I've never really taken the time to look at skincare. I did not know that. So if alcohol is like first or second on the list, that means it contains that. I mean, the most amount of that in that product. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm
more or
not the
less.
only
Yeah.
one who didn't know that.
Yeah,
Or
a lot
maybe
of
because
people don't know it, so
yeah,
it's totally fine that it's
it
totally
blew
fine
my
that you
mind.
just
No,
found it
seriously.
out
I was
today.
like, oh, I can't. I did not know that. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. Let's talk about products. You said that the market here in the Philippines can really grow to an international standard for when it comes to skincare products and whatnot. What
Mhm.
is keeping us from, in your opinion, as someone who's been doing this for a while now? What do you well, how would you know when we've reached that level? What do you expect? Is it by sales volume? Is it by name recognition? Do you want someone like I'm just throwing out names?
Mhm.
Brett Manrock, James Charles. Those are the only the ones that I am familiar with when it comes to uh, influencers and skincare people in the U.S.
Mhm.
When they talk about it, is that your how you determine that we've kind of reached that level? What is the how do you determine? How do you set the international standard in your opinion, in your eyes?
Well, if I'd assume that if people like, Bretman, like mga famous celebrities are already endorsing it,
Yeah.
I'd assume that that brand already has enough marketing budget, and and so that is a sign for me for of like success, because
Okay.
not a lot of brands actually have marketing budget to be to well, a lot do, but not a lot like spend on like celebrities.
Yeah.
Like they have to be those big brands, right? So yeah, I guess that can be like a sign. But I think what's keeping Filipino skincare from being from like expanding, I think when
Spending.
it comes to big brands and small brands, I think even abroad, there's always what causes the gap between them is always the marketing to itself. Um sometimes marketing can lead people to make, wrong decisions, or like, like how one small TikTok can make a product so popular even if it's not used for the way it was supposed to be
Intended
used,
for, yeah.
intended for. Like if a TikTok says, "Oh, you can use this like it's magic," it can explode really. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. I think it's marketing. It's the marketing budget that really separates the brands from each other. And I think that's why I'm doing what I do. It's really to inform the people so they know which products to really like hype up. Like, like, oh, this product is good. The formulation is good. The ingredients list is responsibly made, etc., etc. And the mark and people nowadays, I'd like to say that uh the skincare community is getting more, I'd say, like, what's that word, discerning. Like they
Mm,
know more to like,
right.
they know which, they know if marketing is like it's
It's trying to
BS or
sell
if
to
it's
them. Yeah, yeah.
exactly,
They can
exactly.
tell.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's what I like about the skincare community, like what's happening to the community. They're being more critical, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and now that we you mentioned it, why don't we talk about your TikTok? TikTok, has
Oh,
blown up. I know that I've heard. I was familiar with TikTok maybe 2019, around early or mid 2019, but it really only super took off, especially here in the Philippines during the pandemic. I would say. I think
yeah.
it's safe to assume that it really the numbers grew exponentially because everyone was at home and they wanted to do something. When did you start your TikTok? Were you a pre-pandemic or a pandemic TikToker when it came to
I
starting on the platform?
I was technically, I like to think that I was a pre-pandemic TikToker because I was
Okay.
there when it was still musically.
Yes,
Did you have,
musically, yeah,
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 when it was
musically.
still music, right? So I'd like to think, but for the most part, yeah, I was a pandemic TikToker.
Right.
At first, I used to just do, yung dance lang, like, dance trends, Doja Cat, um, but then I started to, when I started my channel, sabi ko, I think this could be a good platform too to share bite-sized skincare information that I can really expound on YouTube. And so
Mhm.
it became skincare with Jan Angelo. So yeah, but the challenge I think with TikTok is because it's such a micro platform, not in terms of the people who use it, but like the
Skill.
seconds. I think it's so 3 minutes is
Yes.
like the most. Cramping or cramming up all
Any
the
information?
information
Yeah.
in that short of a time span is that's the biggest challenge. And because you can
Yeah.
rub people the wrong way sometimes, and if you rub people the wrong way, they're not going to listen to the information no matter how factual it is. And that's something I learned the hard way.
Yeah. TikTok comments. I tweeted about this. TikTok comments are ruthless, and I
Yes,
feel
oh my
there are
gosh.
there are some bloodthirsty TikTokers with with no profile picture who are not afraid to say how they really feel about you or your content.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the question: when it comes to YouTube and TikTok, they're both very popular platforms. But
Yeah.
as you did mention, the TikTok content is really catered for the attention span of mga 3 to 15 seconds is like what they say our attention span is nowadays.
Mm.
How would you say, besides the length of videos, do you see a difference in your audiences on TikTok and YouTube, or do they kind of are they similar when in maybe in response to you and your content on each platform?
I don't mean to like demean any of my audience who's
Okay,
saying this,
yeah, it's
but
okay.
I'm so as a ano 'no, can you feel that I'm like half
Kabado.
scared right now? Yeah, sobrang kabado.
How about not your audience? How about we talk about just the platforms in general? So
Okay,
you're not targeting your specific audience on your account on TikTok, but just in general, TikTok users who versus YouTube users. What is the difference for you, in your
hmm,
opinion, on the platform itself?
I think the users on YouTube they know how to listen more
Mm.
compared to those in TikTok, because I guess it's because of the attention span thing too. When your attention span is 15 seconds, it can only get shorter because things are just getting more instant and instant.
Indeed.
What I noticed about TikTok is when people see something, either they don't finish the video to get like the entire context, or yeah, when they don't finish the video, they say some thoughts, and they're very, that's the thing, it's a really bad mix, like not getting the context of something and also being very opinionated. And that's the mix of a lot of the
Yep.
audience on TikTok, which makes it a bit dangerous, right? So that's
I
why
get
they're ruthless, I think.
I get you. I get you. They like to. I mean, that's it's basically like you're reading an article. You read the headline of an article, and then you comment already your thoughts without reading the full article.
Exactly.
That's how I kind of liken it to, because it
That's a
happens
really
not.
good comparison, yeah.
Yeah, no, it happens not just on TikTok, right? It happens on all social media platforms in general. But
Actually,
in like you did mention on YouTube, they, like you said, they know how to listen, because I really feel YouTube audiences are more engaged in terms of the general spectrum of audiences, because they subscribe to your channel, and if you post more long form videos, they really, the ones that are yung mga alagad mo, for example, they probably watch the whole video, so they've watched all your other videos, so they're more understanding of everything that you might say. But if you start a
I
TikTok
agree.
video, which where on your For You page, where you can run into people that you've never followed before, and if the first five
Yes,
seconds
yeah.
rubs you the wrong way, you already develop a anong tawag dito, an opinion of them, and kind of stick with that, unless you change their mind somehow by watching their other content, which doesn't happen all the time. So I feel you. I feel you on that. So a reminder to all
Super
the
agree.
the listeners out there. Jan was not talking about his specific audience on TikTok, but just a little comparison. I think it's fair. I think it's very fair.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think it's very, very fair the way you put that out. But we don't have a lot of time. I feel like, even though I don't know much about skincare, we could talk for hours on this, because you're so easy to talk to, Jan. But
Oh,
before we
thank
come
you.
to a close, I'd like to ask you, for all the listeners out there who are like me, I'm going to use myself as a uh, vehicle for their questions right now. What are the maybe the bare essentials when it comes to skincare? Because there's so many products out there, and and this is an invite for them as well to go check out your channel, because you have so much detail in all your videos. But if you were to, in a short answer, give
Mm.
us the products that are essential at any budget level, but just the essential products. What would you use? Is it moisturizer, sunblock? Those are the ones that I am familiar with. But is there anything that I'm missing or that you would like to add?
You're actually you're on a, how do I say this? You're on the right track. And then
Okay,
I
good.
was planning to add like
I'm
a
glad.
really on it. So I'm just gonna be wrong grammar and say you're on the really right track.
I'm on the really right.
You're
I
on the
love it.
really right track. But in a like, if I'm really going to like shorten it, and this is in my video like beginner skincare, so for those listening, you might want to check that out. But if I'm going to like make it really really simple, you just really need three things, like a cleanser, or a face wash, as they call it, a cleanser or a face wash, sunscreen in the morning, and moisturizer, and that's it. Like,
Yeah,
no need for any toner, no need for, unless of course it's medication from the
right.
dermatologist. But those three things, the cleanser, the sunscreen, and the moisturizer, that's really all you need, especially if you don't have any skin problems. You just want to like take care of your skin.
Yeah.
That's key. That those three are key.
Is it true that even if you, let's say, a lot of us are at home right now, that you still need to add sunblock? Because some people might have the notion that hindi naman ako lumalabas. I'm not going to
Mm.
be exposed to the sun. Do I need to put on sunblock? Is that something? Is that a notion that you want to dispel right now? Is that something that you want to debunk and say no? You got to put it on every day.
Actually, sure. I just realized this is something I can do
So
on national radio. Well, but there are two spectrums to it. So there's one, like people saying that sorry, not two spectrums, two sides to the spectrum.
I
So
got it.
there is this side that people say, oh, I don't wear sunscreen when I'm indoors, and I don't have to. But there's this other side that says even when you're indoors, even when it's nighttime, even if ganito lang yung ilaw ko, you still need to wear sunscreen because that emits UV, that emits UV, that emits UV. So there's two very extremist, very extreme sides to it. But the real answer is, of course, as expected, somewhere in the middle. So the fact about sunscreen is, as long as there is sunlight, even if one is indoors, if as long as the light of the sun, even if let's say I have glass windows,
Mm.
the UV that causes the aging and the dark spots to like worsen on the skin will can pass through glass windows, can pass through clouds. And so when you're indoors, as long as it's daytime, if the sunlight comes in into your house in any way, it's very prudent to wear sunscreen. And I always tell my viewers, just wear like and like just make it a habit, like parang pagtutoothbrush, because you don't know, sometimes like you're gonna say you're not gonna leave your house and you're gonna close your blinds, but there might be a time that you have to have to open it and might be exposed for a few minutes.
Right.
And I tell them it's very prudent to just wear it every day. Now, on the other hand, the other extreme end na parang, oh, the lights emit UV rays. I actually consulted an expert already on this, and what they say is the light that the lights and like even LED, the ones in our computers,
Mm.
they're like super one over 1,000th to what the
Basic.
sun provide. And
Right.
so there's really no need, especially with fluorescent lights. They say it emits UV rays, which is true, but it's so far from us that it doesn't really cause any danger. Maybe if the light's like 1 inch in your face and it's like just there facing you, that could be
Constantly there.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, at night
Yeah.
and even when you're facing a computer, there's no need to wear sunscreen.
Well, there you go, and I'm sure you've already made content on this on your YouTube, on your TikTok. So this is as we come to a close to all our listeners out there who have not watched your videos. All your skincare questions probably have an answer on there. So Jan, why don't you tell your future alagad, I don't know what you call them, future inductees, where they can find you online and maybe say hello to your fans out there. A lot of them are asking you. I don't know if this is an inside joke in your community about hindi daw sila tatahimik if you don't sing. Pag hindi ka daw kumanta. Is that something
Oh,
that they want you to say? I don't. You don't have to.
I,
I'm just kidding.
I think it's just yeah, it was this inside joke that
Okay. Okay.
one of my admins, we call them the alagadmins,
Alagad.
that
There you
they
go.
were
Okay.
joking about it a while ago. But
Okay.
anyway, what oh yeah,
Social. Yeah.
and just I'd like to invite people who are like who are listening and who haven't seen my YouTube channel. I'm a skincare enthusiast and I do evidence-based skincare. I collaborate with dermatologists and I plan to collaborate with other experts in the industry. So if you want skincare that is mostly based on science, do check out my YouTube channel. That it's Jan Angelo. That's Jan Angelo. And on Instagram, doon ako nagkakalat, doon ako more of my personal life.
Okay.
That's Ongiel, Ongiel. So you guys can follow me there on IG, on TikTok. We also give out skincare information. And to the Alagads, hello, Miss Jurel, Miss Harold, Miss Ruz, Miss Carl, Miss Yane. A lot of the people, if I list them all, baka umabot tayo until 2 a.m.
Okay.
But hello, oh my gosh, thank you sobra sa pag-support. Kahit kanina ko lang sinabi sa inyo na magkaka-show tayo. You guys showed up. And I'll see you guys in my magpapa-giveaway kasi ako tomorrow. So they're also
Ay,
looking forward to
nice.
that. So I'll see you guys on our giveaway tomorrow on IG and on our Facebook group. So yeah, I love you guys. I love you, Alagad and Alagad means.
Yeah, actually, speaking of giveaways, meron ka bang mga
Yeah.
future projects or videos that you want to already plug ahead of time, or maybe a early teaser for all your fans who are supporting you tonight? What's in line for you the next few weeks or months in terms of content and in general? Anything you want to share with us?
Just every Sunday there's a new video. We're gonna be having a giveaway tomorrow with Look Philippines. They're a really premium skincare store here. That's 6 p.m. on our Instagram, on my Instagram page. And also just telling the viewers, I guess for those who haven't viewed the channel yet, There's still an ongoing series in my channel. It's called Derma Answers. That's the unofficial name.
I don't.
And we're going to be having another dermatologist um on board maybe like later this August. And just a clue, because a lot of the people who look at my channel are very, they follow the dermatologists on IG too. Just a big clue. The dermatologist that we're gonna have next on the Derma Answer series, she is like blessed, super pretty af. She's like, oh my god, like goddess, like step on me
Okay.
queen
All
level.
right.
So yeah,
All right. All right. Perfect.
that's
And
it.
any friends and family you want to shout out, or anything else you want to say to your friends out there listening?
There's a lot of them, so I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Thank you, Jen, for
I'm good.
joining us this evening. We hope to have you. Once everything clears up, we hope to have you here live in the booth.
Sure.
But
I'd be
yeah,
super happy to.
congratulations on your all the work that you've done, and
Thank
saying
you.
hello to all your fans as well who've been super supportive. I really love the comments that were coming in. So thank you to the fans who watched as well the show tonight. And join us again next week for more hot conversations here on Heard on Thursdays. My name is JC Tevez. Have a wonderful evening and always keep it locked right here on the Monster. Good night, everyone. Bye bye.